Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy with Kincaid Special Creations, coming to you today with a couple of recreations that I found on my YouTube journey. First, sorry about the noise. First is going to be a divided pumpkin, and the second will be a fall gnome. I hope you like what you see, and if you do, please like, subscribe, and share this video, and we'll see you at the end. Thank you. This is DIY number 1, paper pumpkin. This is one of those paper or wood pumpkins that has the divided stuff in the middle. I'm currently trying to take off the raffia bow. You'll see I will abandon that in just a little bit. The glue is not wanting to come off. They have some really good glue at Dollar Tree. I am going to get the paper that I'm going to use on the top of it. I'm showing you that I'm going to put it on those little divided parts. Now I'm taking my paper and putting it on there. I'm going to use my fingers just to rub around the outside edges of it to get a little indentation on the back, and you'll see that in just a little bit when I get done, it does make that little indentation, so it makes your cutting almost perfect for these little pumpkins. So it's a real fun project. You'll see me cutting it out. It's a little tedious. It takes a minute or two to get those cut down to the correct proportions, but you want to take your time and do this because you want to make sure that what you're ending up with is the size that you don't want to have to waste your paper and then go back and try to do it again. So we'll just take a second here and do the video. If I was better at this and could speed it up, then it would take less time. But just enjoy me watching me cutting this paper out, because it does work out perfect in the end. Then I'll show you the paper pack that it come out of. I believe it's a fall paper pack. Micheals has those in their hot buy. They used to be $5. Now it's usually buy one at $19.99, get one free, or get two free. So you're still paying about $7 pieces. It's not bad for 48. Sometimes you can even get the bigger packs of 180 sheets. So I just had to trim this one down, but everything else fits really good. So now I'm going to clean up my desk a little bit. Sorry about all the mess. I'm going to work on trying to make it look not so distracting. And here I'm currently trying to figure out what color would be the best to paint those non-raised areas in this pumpkin. So I decided that I believe antique wax would be my best choice. So, and here's the paper pack. It's a hot buy pack. Pumpkin spice, I believe, is what it's called. So you probably can't get that one now because I've had that one for several years, but you can find something similar at Micheals. More Hobby Lobby or Joann's, they all have paper packs. Now I'm going to paint the outside edges with this antique wax. You put it on. If you want to leave it the dark color, just leave it there. Don't take your rag and wipe it off. But if you want to tone it down a little bit, just wipe off the extra. That just makes it dry faster and make it look better. I'm going to cut off that Dollar Tree tag. It's in the way of making a nice paint job. So there we go. So just take your time painting in between those little crevices so that you don't have too much. Of course, it wouldn't hurt anything because you're going to put the paper over top of it. But sometimes the glue doesn't like to stick on top of the antique wax, so just be as careful as you can while you're painting. It's enjoyable to take your paint something that just a little plain Jane something and turn it into a project. It doesn't have to be hard. You'll see any of the projects that I'm doing. Most of them are not unless I'm doing one of my scenes, and then it takes a little bit more thinking power than it does doing power. But And then I'm going to turn it over here in a second, and I'm going to paint the back so that I can have a finished project. Just wipe down all the extra wax. It makes the paint look prettier too when you do that. Okay, now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to paint the back of it. I accidentally put my paintbrush up before I was ready for it, so I had to get it back out of my water that's off to the side of my area where I'm working. I don't know why it ain't in the middle of all the rest of that mess, but I will work on that, guys. I know when I'm in the zone for crafting for my lives, I'm in that zone. Now, I always do clean up just before the live goes on, but right now. And what I'm doing right there is just trying to make sure that all my paint strokes go in the same direction. It just ends up giving you a nicer finish. Now, I'm not a painter by any means, but I do what I do and I see it. I think that's, makes it look a whole lot better. And you can see the wax leaves a little bit of the wood tone coming through. Now I'm going to clean up a little bit, and I'm going to get my Mod Podge out and put Mod Podge on the raised areas and then put those papers down. It does take a good, because this is not scrapbooking paper, but like cardstock scrapbooking paper. So it's a little thicker, so it will take you a pretty good layer of Mod Podge. Try to put it on as even as you can with relatively little lumps in it so that it won't stick through your paper. And then take your paper and just push it down on there. Kind of push it down kind of hard. So, and that right there I was checking to make sure I had the right one on the right side, but I do. And that burnishes your paper into your Mod Podge, which makes it stick better. So hopefully that will give you a little bit more information in the use of Mod Podge if you haven't ever used it before. If you have, that's old hat. You know all about that stuff. So we're just going to keep on putting on this. And then as soon as I get done with putting on all three pieces, I'm going to put a second layer of Mod Podge on the top so that I can make sure that it's all covered up good and ready to go. You want to make sure you get those edges as good as you can so that your Mod Podge, your edges of your paper will stay down. And it's important to take your time, make sure it's correct, and see how I'm pushing down with my hands. Make sure that you push down as hard as you can to keep your paper. The good thing about using Mod Podge versus hot glue is you do have a little bit of wiggle time to work with it. Now the Mod Podge is going on the top to cover everything up. That just gives it an extra layer of security so that the paper won't come up or tear or anything. This is going to be a pretty little shelf setter for me. I've currently got me five bookshelves. So I'm now looking around and making new fall decorations to fill those up. But I'm hoping that I can inspire some of you that can do this as well. Because it's like I said, it's easy. Now, I will tell you, getting started in crafting, if you're just beginning, getting started in crafting can be expensive. Even Dollar Tree things add up. Now to do it more from my understanding is I say I can get 4 objects for whatever I want at Dollar Tree store for $5. You used to get 5 of them, but now you get 4 of them. So for every 4, I know I've spent $5. And sometimes making these projects, you can spend a bunch of money. But I try not to because I got a lot of stuff in my stash. But that doesn't mean that I haven't spent the money before. I'm just trying to use it up so that, make good projects out of it. And now just do the basics. So what I show you on these videos, That's me making a messy bow, by the way. It's just cutting a bunch of little pieces of ribbon and stick them together and then tie the middle. And then you can pull them out and cut the ends into a dovetail. It's just cut and fold it over, cut from the folded end down to the open end, and you can make a little dovetail on the end of your thing. But just, you know, if you want to do the crafts, that would be wonderful if you recreated one of mine. Mine are, I'd say 65% of somebody else's that I've watched on YouTube that I am now recreating for my home decor. I know a lot of you all don't get to craft very much, but if you just want to watch me do it, it's fine. I enjoy the company. I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy having this me and you time. So please give me a like. I would love it if you would subscribe. I'm currently at 50 subscribers and would love to get, you know, a few extra, a couple a week while I'm going on this journey. I'd like to have some comments back. If you'd like to see something different, you can, we have a Facebook group called Kincaid Special Creations that goes live every 2 weeks, every other Thursday. The next one will be September the 8th. So just kind of check us out. All these were on the last live, which is also on YouTube. So if you want to see the finished projects, just go to our Facebook Lives. Either watch us live or watch us on YouTube as we recreate all this stuff. That's just putting a little hanger back on it so that now we can hang it up on the wall. So, and it's just about all. Look how pretty it turned out. I am so pleased. Thank you for watching. DIY number 2, Fall Gnome. Hello guys, today we are going to do a Fall Gnome. I'm taking a Snapple bottle that I have cleaned out and sent to the dishwasher, and I'm going to take a bag of small little, some kind of little beans that was given to me that I really don't know anything about, so I'm going to use them for weights in my little Snapple bottle for my gnome. And I'm just, you know, checking to see if, right there I was taking a drink, I had a cough, but see how many I need to make it weighted down to be the right weight so it won't get toppled over when you're moving with it. And here I took the label off of one of the things that I had worked on before, making me a circle to glue to the top of it so my beans don't fall out. You could just probably use the sock, but I wanted extra security, so I'm going to put that little top on, hold it down for just a second or two, and then I'm going to get my sock ready. All you do is just grab you an old sock, something you've already washed, but you can't find the mate to. Just open it up and set that Snapple bottle right down in the bottom of it, pull it up to the top, and cut off whatever portion of it that you do not want. And then you're going to take a couple rubber bands and pull it up real high. Just put your rubber band on. That just keeps it from falling down as you're making the rest of your gnome. It's shaped up pretty good. It's got the weight, and I just went to find a bead to be the right bead to put underneath the little hat, make his nose with. And now I'm going to fill it up the hole with the bead with some hot glue, and be careful because that hot glue does get hot. It's just trying to make it filled in so that you can paint it and there won't be a big old hole in the middle of his nose. So now that it has been put in and it's cooled down, I'm going to take this paint. It's a peachy color paint from Apple Barrel. Just looks kind of like a little flesh tone type thing. Anything that you've got, doesn't have to be that particular paint, but anything that you've got that looks kind of flesh tony. Because that is an unfinished bead. If it had been a white bead or even a bright, colored bead, I could have probably just used it as it was, but since it was an unfinished bead, I wanted to paint it. There I am putting the finishing touches on the paint. I'm going to get out my heat gun here in just a second and blow it dry. Always put the lid on your paints if you're done with them, because they'll dry out so quick. And you pay not a whole lot of money for apple barrel at Walmart, but you pay enough that you don't want to throw it away. Because as I mentioned earlier in this video, crafting can get expensive. But if you've been doing it the way I have for 40 years, collecting this, that, and the other, and you now have a whole entire she shed full of stuff, then you can pretty much craft all you want. But if you're just starting out, pick your choices. Something that you can use multiple times. A good black, a good white. You start out with apple barrel because that's a good brand of paint. And you can do multiple projects with it. I personally like chalk paint by Waverly, which is a little bit more expensive. That's why I didn't start out with that. But they said that acrylic paint will soak down into a material, especially if you're working on wood, where chalk paint will lay on top of it. So that's the difference in the two paints. Now I have everything all together. I'm picking out my leaves, and I'm going to just pick a design that I want with these leaves and just start gluing them on. I glued them on to either side of his nose to start with, and then I started at the bottom with the darker ones, just so that I can, lay them on top of each other as they come up, instead of having to be lifting them up every time. So you just keep going on with whatever leaves you've got in your arsenal to put in there. You usually get a little bag of these type leaves at Dollar Tree. They're $1.25 now, but one bag will more than do the little face, a little beard of your gnome. And just keep, what I'm searching for there is my little, it's a makeup thing. You find it in the makeup department at Big Lots or Walmart or whatever. But it's a silicone thing, so when you're working with hot glue, you don't have to touch the hot glue directly. So it's always a good thing if you can find one of those to pick it up. Put it in your little craft arsenal. And just keep gluing on your little leaves till they're all glued on. He makes the cutest little gnome. I'm so glad I seen this. I can't remember the lady that first done it, but I want to make sure that she knows that I know that's not mine. That's her creation. But it is really, really, really a good idea. So now I'm going to show you him as his finished project, and hope that you enjoy this video and give it a like. Try him if you want to. Give me a little comment when you did, and we'll see you in the next video. Y'all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Hello guys, I found you a bonus video. It's a broom refresh. I picked up this at a yard sale at one point in time several years ago, and I have used it in our fall decorations, but I wanted to give it a refresh. I wanted to take it up another level. Since I've been doing crafting, I think I'm up to this challenge, so I'm taking off all the old stuff, putting on some new stuff. I got these things from the Dollar Tree. They had a few of the leaves missing, so I'm taking some off the old branches and putting them on the new branches, just to be able to make sure that it's full and fluff. Right now I'm just fluffing it all up, adding in another leaf, getting the berries out from the back, and making sure that it just looks pretty. Just when you look at it, it just says, oh, well, this is cute. This has been refreshed a little bit. I found these also came from Dollar Tree. I'm just going to take a couple little sprigs off of them with my wire cutters and add them into the bunch in different areas. And then I'm going to take my floor wire, and I'm going to wire it all together so it doesn't fall apart on me. And then I'll take another bunch of that floral wire. You'll see the first time I get it too short and have to cut out the second piece, but that's how I get it to attach to the broom. It can be changed out again. You could use that broom and put it in Christmas stuff or spring stuff. So that's the reason I'm using the floral wire to put it in with. I'm just trying to make sure that everything that I'm trying to do I can recreate or reuse at some point in time if I take a notion to. And now I'm just adding in some extra little old leaves that I had, like for the gnome. I'm just adding in a few where it looks like the branches is all showing out where it don't need to. That one stuck to my finger. Ha ha. Hot glue can be a mean son of a gun when it wants to. And now I'm going to take this ribbon and make me a bow. Now this is a strange bow, which you just excuse me, take and cut it into pieces, then roll it back to the center on itself, and you put a little hot glue. And I made 2 of them. I'm sorry. I will give you some water here in a second. And then you just put them together and I took a piece of ribbon out of the old bow that was on there, tied it around and hot glued it into place. I was just checking to make sure that it was about the right size to put on that thing so it didn't look too funny. Now, because it's wired ribbon, I can take and put those things together. And now I'm going to make the tails for it. Let's put that down on there. I didn't hold it long enough, so you're going to see it's going to fall apart on me. I have to hold it together. And then I'm going to glue it down into the thing. I'm going to dovetail the ends of it. And then I'm going to show you the finished product. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.